Thanks for staying with us at STL Live. I'm Sarah Thompson, and my guest is Matt Raithel of Graphite Lab. There we go. Thank you again for being here today. And this is so cool talking about your company, your recent game launch.
Sure.
I wanted to know a bit more about your background because you are a game developer, and that's, I was saying to you off camera, you've got to be the coolest parent at Parent Day, at Career Day, and what you're talking about what you did. But how did you get to where you are now?
I do enjoy doing those career days from time to time. It's cool to kind of see, my kids and other kids get excited about games, because that's kind of how I started, was being an excited 6-year-old, and then Nintendo came out and everybody wanted one, and that really sparked an interest in my heart to eventually make games. And I didn't know quite how I was going to do it. At the time, you really did have to have an engineering background in order to handle the complex hardware and all that sort of thing. But I was kind of an artist, in my heart, and so I'd always draw and doodle. Instead of doing math homework, I was drawing on the math homework. So maybe that was a sign that art was the right path for me. So as I grew up, I kept a love for games. I played a lot of games and always tried to copy the characters in my drawing pads. And so when it came time to go outside of high school and look at schools, college, there were a few game design programs that had kind of crept up in the country, but not a lot that were certainly not in the Midwest. And so I ended up going to school for art and computer animation and used that as my into the industry. So I started as an artist who did computer models. So if you see these 3D video games and there's chairs and tables and rooms and doors and all that kind of stuff, I would be the one to build those things. And from there, started to grow and ended up managing teams of artists and then managing whole teams of developers. And then eventually kind of got an opportunity to kind of take over as owner of the company. So it's been a very long path, but it's been one that has always been driven by passion for this industry.
And when did you decide I'm going to start my own company? I mean, that's a big, leap to take, to say this is professionally what I'm going to do and to try to, my bread and butter, to make a living from this.
Yeah, it was something where I didn't really set out to do it exactly that way. I was kind of got my start down in Springfield, Missouri right out of school, and there was a studio beginning down there, and I kind of connected with them, and we grew that together. And then being from St. Louis originally, I decided, hey, I want to expand and get back to my hometown. So it was kind of at that point where I said, if I'm going to make this leap and take this risk, I better be able to, make it work. So that's when I kind of got a little bit more skin in the game as well.
And connecting this to Hive Jump, your new game,
Sure.
I mean, when is it that when you're running your own business, you have to make the revenue, so that's your client work. Do you always from the get-go have a passion project that you want to do? Is there always from the start, like, this is the game that I want to someday create if I've got the money, if it's coming in to do that? Or is it more of you just get to a point where you're like, no one's done this, why don't I try this?
It certainly can be some of both. With our story, it was a little bit more of a, hey, this is something that people aren't doing, but we would love to play a game like this one. So it was a little bit of opportunity meets interest, meets, kind of the right team configuration, and that kind of helped us get where we wanted to be.
And you're at an interesting point too, because in addition to your own company, you are starting to teach now, or you have been teaching.
Sure.
But something's changed about that, and tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so I have been an adjunct professor for the last 10 years or so. I did some time teaching at what is now Missouri State down in Springfield. And most recently, I'd been adjuncting teaching animation at Maryville here in St. Louis. And as games has grown here in St. Louis, so has the interest in building video games for a career path. And Maryville had the foresight to see that as an opportunity, and I've been working with them to craft curriculum around game design. And so for the last 2.5 years, I was kind of moving towards becoming full-time faculty there, and then in the fall took on full-time faculty status to help them grow their programs. So it's kind of a bigger mission of mine to not just grow Graphite Lab, but to grow game development as an industry here in St. Louis. And Maryville saw that vision and shares that passion for the city, and so we were able to put something together. And I'm excited to see new students come into that program. It's pretty exciting.
And what an exciting for you to be in this position. From when you first started, there weren't necessarily programs and degrees that you can do, and now here you are leading up sort of a program and a department for that and teaching students for that. So that's really exciting.
Yeah, it's been really thrilling.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being here today. And we've got information. If you want to reach out to Matt, learn more about his company, you can head to graphitelab.com. If you want to learn more about his game, where to purchase it, you can go to hivejump.com and learn all about it. We saw some video on it earlier, but I bet there's a lot more on the website. Sure. So again, that's hivejump.com for his new game, and then his company is graphitelab.com. And good luck with the company, with the next plans, and with teaching as well. I mean, that's a lot on your plate, and being a dad and a husband and all those things. But good luck and thank you for being here.
Never a dull moment.
All right. All right, well, there's more STL Live right after this. Stay with us.